Welcome, curious seekers of the unseen world, to another dark and forbidden chapter of our Global Religious Mysteries series. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, unable to move, as a shadow made of heat descends slowly upon your helpless chest. You might think it is just a dream or a medical glitch, but ancient texts whisper a far more terrifying and hidden truth. For centuries, the burning sands of Arabia have hidden a race born not from clay, but from the fury of smokeless fire. Meet the Jinn, entities with free will, distinct societies, and a history that predates the very first breath of human civilization. Are they mere legends of the past, or do they walk among us today, hidden within the very vibrations of our physical reality? Beyond the veil of our physical world, there exists a species that was created long before the first man walked the earth. Forget the blue genies of Hollywood fairy tales. The real Jinn are far more complex, dangerous, and deeply woven into our history. The Holy Quran warns of a parallel society, living in the shadows, possessing an intellect and a will as free as our own. The Quran describes them as a third race of beings, sharing this planet with us, yet hidden by a veil of different vibrations. They eat, they drink, they marry, and they die a shadow civilization, operating just beyond the spectrum of human vision. Created from Nar al-Samum, a scorching wind of fire without smoke, they represent a state of matter we are only beginning to grasp. Is it possible that these entities are not ghosts, but beings composed of plasma, existing in a dimension parallel to our own? In Islamic cosmology, the universe is divided into three distinct creations, each defined by the substance of its origin. The angels were forged from pure celestial light, perfect and obedient, forever carrying out the divine orders of the Creator. Humanity was molded from the humble dust of the earth, from heavy clay, destined to rule the physical and material domains. But the Jinn belong to the fire, an energetic existence that is volatile, powerful, and capable of extreme transformation. This trinity of creation establishes a hierarchy where the unseen and the seen are constantly interacting in mysterious ways. According to ancient hadiths, the Jinn have the ability to observe us, while we remain completely blind to their presence. They inhabit the desolate places, the deep deserts, the dark caves, and the abandoned ruins where human footsteps rarely tread. Some are righteous and pious, while others are rebellious and chaotic, seeking to influence human hearts with whispered lies. The leader of the rebellious is Iblis, a Jinn who refused to bow to man, vowing to lead the world astray until time ends. But the history of the Jinn is not just about whispers. It is a history of labor, power, and massive stone monuments. To find the most profound evidence of their interaction with humanity, we must travel back to the age of King Solomon. Known as Suleiman in the Quran, this legendary king was granted a gift that no other human being has ever received. With a mystical signet ring, Solomon commanded the wind, the language of the birds, and the vast legions of the Jinn. He did not merely coexist with them, he harnessed their immense strength to build the magnificent First Temple of Jerusalem. Imagine massive entities of energy, bound by divine law, carving impossible stones and diving into the oceans for pearls. Legend says the Jinn feared the king's seal, toiling in silence to complete the structures that still haunt our archaeological records. Archaeologists often struggle to explain how certain ancient megaliths were moved. Could the answer lie in this invisible labor? But when Solomon passed away, his power did not die with him. It only scattered back into the vast, unforgiving desert. The Jinn remained, lurking in the dunes, adopting the forms of creatures that roam the periphery of our human settlements. In the traditions of the Middle East, a black dog with 2 spots above its eyes is often whispered to be a Jinn in disguise. They shift into serpents that vanish into the sand, or into voices that call out your name from the heart of a sandstorm. This ability to shapeshift makes the desert a place where reality is fluid and where every shadow could be a conscious observer. If you were lost in the desert and heard a familiar voice calling you into the darkness, would you follow it or run away? This is the psychological warfare of the Jinn, a game of hide and seek played across the vast, empty quarters of the world. But these entities do not just haunt the wilderness, they claim human spaces as their own once we have abandoned them. Look at Jazirah Al Hamra in the United Arab Emirates, a town frozen in time, abandoned by its people almost overnight. Once a thriving center of pearl diving, it is now a crumbling labyrinth of coral stone houses claimed by the shifting sands. Local rumors persist that the town was not abandoned due to modernization, but because of an overwhelming Djinn infestation. Residents reported strange sounds, items moving on their own, and a suffocating presence that made living there an impossible ordeal. Today, even the most modern tourists feel a chill as they walk through the quiet streets, as if being watched by invisible eyes. Is it mass hysteria fueled by ancient legends, or have these coral ruins truly become a permanent embassy for the unseen? As we move into the modern age, the mystery of the Djinn takes a darker and more personal turn within our own homes. Across the Islamic world, cases of alleged possession are treated with extreme gravity, requiring rituals of spiritual exorcism. Victims report sudden personality changes, speaking in unknown tongues, and demonstrating a strength that defies their physical limits. The shaitan, the most malicious of the Djinn, are said to enter the human body, influencing the mind and the very soul. However, modern science offers a different explanation for these harrowing experiences, focusing on the chemistry of the brain. Psychiatrists point to disorders like schizophrenia or temporal lobe epilepsy to explain the voices and the terrifying hallucinations. There is a profound clash here, a battle between the diagnostic manual of the doctor and the ancient prayers of the scholar. Can a pill really cure a spiritual entity, or is science simply giving a new name to a phenomenon it cannot truly understand? Consider the phenomenon of sleep paralysis, a state where the mind wakes up but the body remains completely frozen and heavy. In this terrifying transition, millions report seeing a shadow person or an old hag sitting heavily upon their chest. Western medicine calls this an intrusion of the REM cycle, a harmless glitch in our biological software during the night. But in many cultures, this is the kabus or the Djinn, a real entity pressing down on the dreamer's physical presence. Why do these hallucinations share such consistent features across different cultures, languages, and centuries of human history? Is it a shared neurological map? Or are we all witnessing the same invisible reality during our most vulnerable moments? The question of the Djinn forces us to reconsider the very nature of energy and the limits of our 5 basic senses. Scientists now theorize that 95% of the universe is composed of dark matter and dark energy that we cannot see. Could the smokeless fire of the Djinn be a primitive description of a form of energy that exists just beyond our detection? Perhaps we are not alone on this planet, but merely sharing it with a species whose biology is based on electromagnetic force. They are the architects of our myths, the whispers in our solitude, and the unexplained shadows in our modern photographs. Whether they are entities from another dimension or creations of the human mind, their impact on our culture is undeniable. The ancient cities of the Middle East still keep their secrets, guarding the entrances to a world we are forbidden to enter. The mystery of the Djinn remains a haunting bridge between ancient faith and the unexplained phenomena of our modern scientific world. Is the Djinn a spiritual reality we must fear, or a metaphor for the hidden energies of the universe? Tell us your thoughts below. If you dare to uncover more forbidden secrets, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel. Every religion has its guardians, and every shadow has a story to tell to those who are brave enough to listen closely. The sands of the desert are shifting once more, revealing artifacts that challenge everything we thought we knew about our past. As we close this chapter on the invisible, we prepare to descend even deeper into the hidden vaults of the human story. What other entities have been watching us from the darkness since the beginning of time, waiting for the right moment to emerge? We have only scratched the surface of the hidden world, and the true journey into the abyss is only just beginning now. History is a puzzle of light and shadow, and today we have glimpsed the fire that burns without leaving any trace of smoke. Do not let your guard down, for the veil is thinner than you think, especially when the sun sets behind the distant dunes. Keep your eyes on the horizon and your mind open to the possibilities of a world that is much larger than it appears. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Djinn, the masters of the invisible realm and the smokeless fire. In our next episode, we will travel to the shores of the Dead Sea to investigate a treasure map made entirely of copper. A billion-dollar secret that has remained hidden for 2,000 years, protected by the heat and the silence of the caves. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop questioning the reality that surrounds you every single day. The universe is full of mysteries waiting to be solved by those who are not afraid of the dark or the unknown secrets. We are the investigators of the forbidden, and our search for the truth will take us to the ends of the known world. What lies beneath the shifting sands is often more real than the solid ground we walk upon during our waking hours. The Djinn are still there, watching, waiting, and perhaps even listening to the very words we are speaking to you now. Do you feel the temperature in the room changing, or a faint shadow moving in the corner of your own personal space? Some believe that merely talking about them is an invitation for them to enter your life and change your destiny forever. But we seek the truth above all else, even if that truth is forged in the flames of a fire that produces no smoke. Farewell for now, until we meet again in the next chapter of our deep dive into the Global Religious Mystery series. Stay tuned for the Copper Scroll, a mystery of gold and blood that will challenge your perception of ancient history. The journey continues, and the most shocking discoveries are still ahead of us in the darkness of the forgotten vaults. Welcome, curious seekers of the unseen world, to another dark and forbidden chapter of our Global Religious Mysteries series. Imagine waking up in the dead of night, unable to move, as a shadow made of heat descends slowly upon your helpless chest. You might think it is just a dream or a medical glitch, but ancient texts whisper a far more terrifying and hidden truth. For centuries, the burning sands of Arabia have hidden a race born not from clay, but from the fury of smokeless fire. Meet the Djinn, entities with free will, distinct societies, and a history that predates the very first breath of human civilization. Are they mere legends of the past, or do they walk among us today, hidden within the very vibrations of our physical reality?